Hello, and welcome to SurreyMind, our special Christmas quiz, where 5 contestants will test their intellect on their specialist subject, answering questions in 90 seconds, and then they will answer 2 minutes of questions on general knowledge. Now, at the end of that, one of the contestants will be crowned SurreyMind 2015, and they will also win this specially commissioned cut glass crystal glass. So, if we could have our first contestant, please. Name?
Gareth Batty.
Occupation?
Professional cricket.
Specialist subject?
Surrey County Cricket Club.
Gareth, you have 90 seconds on your chosen specialist subject, Surrey County Cricket Club, starting now. In what year was Surrey County Cricket Club founded?
1845.
Correct. Prior to Pat Pocock, who was the president of Surrey County Cricket?
Or Tricky Trevs, the Trevor MacDonald.
Correct. Who took over 100 wickets in all competitions for Surrey in 2015?
Tom Curran.
Correct. Who is the club's leading record scorer in one-day cricket of all time?
Oh, pass.
Which former Surrey bowler, born and raised in Lambeth, shared his name with Surrey's president in 1979?
Oh, Tom Hayward.
George Edwards. Which Surrey player was the leading Test match run scorer of the 1990s?
Alex Stewart.
Correct. Who was Surrey skipper who captained the side to the world record score of 496 for 4 against Gloucestershire in 2007?
Adam Oliver.
Mark Butcher. From which university has Surrey spinner Freddie Vandenberg recently graduated?
Loughborough.
Durham. Which 2 recent overseas players have scored a century on their first-class debuts for Surrey?
Rory Burns.
Former overseas players.
Oh, overseas. Ricky Ponting, Kumar Sangakkar.
Correct. Which Surrey and England captain almost caused an international incident between England and Australia because of his aggressive tactics on the Ashes Tour Down Under in the 1930s? I've started, so I'll finish.
Douglas Jardine.
Correct. Gareth, you passed on just one question. Who is the club's all-time leading record scorer in one-day cricket? It is Alistair Brown. Gareth,
Sorry, Brown.
You scored 6. Thank you. Hello, and welcome to another edition of SurreyMind. Can we have our next contestant, please? Name?
Daniel Norcross.
Occupation?
Professional cricket wibbler.
And chosen specialist subject?
Surrey County Cricket Club.
Daniel, on your chosen specialist subject of Surrey County Cricket Club, you have 90 seconds starting now. On which West Indian island was Sylvester Clarke born?
Barbados.
Correct. With 1,399 first-class wickets for Surrey, who is number 6 in the club's all-time wicket-taking list?
Tony Locke.
Pat Pocock. Who comes next in this chronological list? Michael Barton, Stuart Surridge, Peter May.
Captains, Mickey Stewart.
Correct. Who is the only man to have scored more than 3,000 runs in a season for Surrey?
One of the H's, Hayward.
Correct. Which Indian bowler was the most recent man to take a hat-trick against Surrey for Leicestershire in 2002?
Zahir Khan.
Javagol Srinath. Who opened the new indoor score at the Oval in 1991?
Oh, good grief. Who opened it? I should know, shouldn't I? Was a Bedser still alive? Alec Bedser.
Queen Elizabeth II. Against which team did Ricky Ponting play his last first-class innings for Surrey?
Absolutely no idea. It had been at the end of the season. We have to play Northants at the end of the season. Northants.
Nottinghamshire.
Oh.
Before it was known as the Kia Oval, who was the title sponsor of the Oval?
Oh, crikey. Was it Foster's then?
Brit Insurance. From which captain did Alex Stewart take over in 1992? I've started, so I'll finish.
Oh, no, I know this one. In 1992, which captain did he take over from? Oh, good grief. Somebody old. Why can't I remember the name of anybody from 1992? Because we weren't very good in 1992 is part of the reason, which is a bit cruel. Alex Stewart took over, we weren't very good. Roger Knight must have finished way before then. It's the one between Roger Knight and him, but I've run out of remembering, so I'll have to say Roger Knight.
Ian Gregg.
Ian Gregg.
Daniel, you scored 3 with no passes.
3? That's terrible.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of SurreyMind. Could we have our next contestant, please? Name,
Pocock.
occupation,
Retired.
and chosen specialist subject.
Surrey County Cricket Club.
Pat, you have 90 seconds on your chosen specialist subject of Surrey County Cricket Club, starting now. In 1984, who was appointed as Surrey's first ever overseas captain?
Ian Gregg.
Jeff Howarth.
Jeff Howarth.
Which batsman holds the record for the highest ever individual score for Surrey?
Andrew Sandham.
Bobby Aiden. Aside from wicketkeepers, which Surrey player holds the record for the most catches taken in a career?
Arnold Long.
Mickey Stewart. Who is the club's only ever female president?
Betty Surridge.
Correct. Who was the only Surrey batsman to go past 1,000 first-class runs in 2015?
Pass.
Who holds the all-time appearance record for Surrey County Cricket Club?
Jack Hobbs.
Correct. Which Bedser brother achieved over 5,000 first-class runs and over 700 first-class wickets for the club?
Eric Benson.
Correct. Who is the only batsman to have hit a T20 century for Surrey?
Ali Brown.
Jason Roy. Which Surrey player was man of the match in the first ever one-day international in 1971?
Pass.
Against which side did Mark Ramprakash score his 100th first-class 100?
Worcestershire.
Yorkshire. Which Pakistani seamer played 2 T20 games for the club in 2015?
That was Sherbakar.
Wahab Riaz. I've started, so I'll finish. Which batsman holds the club record for the most innings played in a season for Surrey, coming to the crease no fewer than 62 times in 1959?
John Edridge.
Mickey Stewart. Pat, at the end of that round, you scored 3 points with 2 passes. Your first pass. Who was the only Surrey batsman to go past 1,000 first-class runs in 2015? That was Rory Burns. And which Surrey player was man of the match in the first ever one-day international in 1971? John Edridge. Pat, at the end of that round, you scored 3 points.
So.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of SurreyMind. Can we have our next contestant, please? Name,
Johnny Barran,
occupation,
freelance presenter and broadcaster.
chosen specialist subject.
Surrey County Cricket Club.
Johnny Barran, on your chosen specialist subject of Surrey County Cricket Club, you have 90 seconds starting now. What was the second initial borne by Surrey great Jack Hobbs?
Pass.
Which ground was established by Surrey County Cricket Club president John Paul Getty Jr.?
Wormsley.
Correct. Prior to Kevin Peterson in 2015, who was the most recent Surrey batsman to score a triple century?
Jack Hobbs.
Mark Ramprakash. In what year was the OCS stand opened?
Completed in 2005.
Correct. Who is the club's all-time leading wicket-keeper with over 1,000 catches and nearly 200 stumpings?
Oh, Lord. Alex Stewart.
Herbert Stroke. What is the name of the ground in Guildford that stages Surrey County Cricket Club?
Woodbridge Road.
Correct. I was born in Lahore on December the 29th, 1976, and have bowled over 3,500 overs for Surrey, taking 424 first-class wickets. Who am I?
Azam Mahmood.
Sakle Mushtaq. What three initials came before the name of former Surrey leg spinner Ian Salisbury?
IDK.
Correct. In which year... I've started, so I'll finish. In which year did Mark Ramprakash hit 10 first-class centuries for Surrey?
That will be... 2006.
2007. Johnny Barran, you scored 4 and passed on 1. What was the second initial borne by Surrey great Jack Cobbs? The initial was B. Johnny Barran, at the end of that round, you scored 4 points. Hello, and welcome to another edition of SurreyMind. Can we have our next contestant, please? Name,
Henry Cowen,
occupation,
journalist for All Out Cricket magazine,
and your chosen specialist subject.
Surrey County Cricket Club.
Henry, on your chosen specialist subject of Surrey County Cricket Club, you have 90 seconds, starting now. Which Surrey player hit the winning runs in this year's NatWest T20 Blast match at the Carr Oval against Gloucestershire?
Azam Mahmood,
Correct. Who was the most recent player to make his first-class debut for Surrey?
Sam Carr,
Correct. Which current England bowler was brought to the club after being discovered in the Dulwich College nets by former Surrey second 11 coach Nadeem Shahid?
pass.
Which former Prime Minister has a room named after him in the OCS stand?
Sir John Major,
Correct. In what season did both Tony Locke against Kent and Jim Laker against Australia take 10 wickets in an innings for Surrey?
1957,
1956. After which batsman was the new gate at the pavilion end at the Carr Oval opened in the summer of 2015? Who was it named after?
Edridge,
Correct. Born in Melbourne in 1971, I played for Surrey for 12 years and have also competed professionally in 2 other sports. Who am I?
Adam Hollyoake,
Correct. Which former Surrey fast bowler went by the on-field moniker of Gunter, partially to excuse his sometimes overly aggressive attitude?
Andre Nell,
Correct. Which great Surrey batsman... I've started, so I'll finish. Which great Surrey batsman and later coach became the first man to hit a triple century in international cricket?
Andy Sandham,
Correct. Henry, at the end of that round, you scored 7 points with 1 pass. Which current England bowler was brought to the club after being discovered in the Dulwich College nets by former Surrey second 11 coach Nadeem Shahid? Chris Jordan. Henry, you scored 7 points. So we've reached the halfway point of SurreyMind. All 5 contestants have now answered questions on their chosen specialist subject of Surrey County Cricket Club. Time to take a look at our leaderboard. Join us after Christmas, where each contestant will sit down for 2 minutes of general knowledge questions, and we will reveal who the winner of SurreyMind 2015 actually is. So So, Gareth, you scored 6 on your chosen specialist subject of Surrey County Cricket Club. When did you sort of first get interested in cricket?
Pretty much from birth as a young boy. My father's a cricket enthusiast, and yeah, just pretty much that's all I've ever known, really.
And what would you say is your favourite item of cricketing clothing?
For the purpose of this, I would say my cricket bat.
And who is the smelliest player in the Surrey dressing room?
There's a few, but I'm going to go with Jason Roy.
Well, Gareth, you scored 6. You've now got 2 minutes of general knowledge, starting now. Who is the Booker Prize winning author? What is the name of the current Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom?
Jack Straw, don't know.
Philip Hammond. Who is the missing member of the boy band One Direction? Louis Tomlinson, Liam Payne, and Niall Horan.
Now Horan.
Harry Styles. On which British TV show have you seen a judging panel that has featured Sir Tom Jones, Kylie Minogue, and Jessie J?
Voice, I think.
Correct. What is the largest animal to have ever lived on the Earth?
Blue whale.
Correct. Who is the last man to have been a Republican president of the United States of America?
Clinton.
George W. Bush. Who is the British film director of Trainspotting, Slumdog Millionaire, and Steve Jobs?
Pass.
Who is the current England football captain?
Wayne Rooney, I think.
Correct. Name one of the 2 regular presenters of BBC One's The One Show.
Oh, don't watch it. Pass.
Which American city boasts sports franchises called the Marlins, the Heat, and the Dolphins?
Miami.
Correct. Which London bridge has Big Ben at one end and St Thomas's Hospital
Westminster.
at the other? Correct. Which singers' fans self-identify themselves as Swifties?
Taylor Swift.
Correct. In which British city would you find Waverley train station?
Pass.
Who is the current host of The Breakfast Show on BBC Radio 2?
Chris Evans.
Correct. From which country does world tennis number 1 Novak Djokovic hail? Start to self-finish.
Croatia.
So, Gareth, you passed on 4. Who is the Booker Prize winning author of the novel Midnight's Children? It's Salman Rushdie. What is the name of the current Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom? Philip Hammond. Name one of the 2 regular presenters of BBC One's The One Show, Matt Baker or
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. In which British city would you find Waverley train station? Edinburgh. Gareth, you scored 7 on general knowledge. Combined with your total from your specialist subject, Surrey County Cricket Club, you have scored 13 points. Congratulations. So, general knowledge, could we have our next contestant, please? Welcome back, Daniel Norcross. You scored 3 on your specialist subject of Surrey County Cricket Club, which I know you were slightly disappointed in. When did you become interested in Surrey County Cricket Club?
Well, it was at the period when they were at their most rubbish, actually, about 1976-77. I think John Edrich's 100th 100 was against Derbyshire in 1977. You didn't ask me a question about that. You asked me a question about insurance companies instead. But yeah, John Edrich was the man that I fell in love with. I love the slow rate of play. As an 8-year-old, there's nothing you like more than 34 runs being scored before lunch in a gritty left-handed fashion.
The good news for you is next year we're going to have just all questions on insurance companies, so we'll drop you that question in then from 1977. Why are you wearing a silly hat?
I was told to by your head of whatever it is.
The executive producer.
That's right, the executive producer, John Surtees. Yeah. I quite like it, actually.
I think it does suit you. And finally, of course, we know you famously now from the Test Match Special Commentary box. Your favourite moment so far in the TMS box?
Well, The TMS box. Well, I was going to say, I mean, in the TMS box, my favourite moment was actually, getting to do it. But my favourite moment in the commentary box, I think, was with you this year when we discovered that the Barran had been on an officer training course in Gibraltar.
Yes.
That was a moment that really startled and terrified me. The thought of the armed services ever possibly being put in the hands of Johnny Barran had me giggling for most of the
Yes,
rest
it's
of
a
that.
moment I still remember fondly. Now, Daniel, you scored 3
So you
on
keep
your
saying, yes.
chosen specialist subject, so you now have 2 minutes on general knowledge. Starting now. Who is the Booker Prize-winning author of the novel Midnight's Children?
Salman Rushdie.
Correct. What is the name of the current Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom?
Hammond.
Correct. Who is the missing member of the boy band One Direction? Louis Tomlinson, Liam Payne, and Niall Horan.
Is he called Zayn? Zayn Thingy?
Harry Styles.
Oh, right.
On which British TV show have you seen a judging panel that has featured Sir Tom Jones, Kylie Minogue, and Jessie J?
The Voice.
Correct. What is the largest animal to have ever lived on the Earth?
On the Earth.
On the Earth.
The Diplodocus.
The blue whale. Who is the last man to have been a Republican president of the United States of America?
George W. Bush.
Correct. Who is the British film director of Trainspotting, Slumdog Millionaire, and Steve Jobs?
Oh, I can't remember his bloody name. Pass.
Who is the current England football captain?
Captain. Wayne Rooney.
Correct. Name one of the 2 regular presenters of BBC One's The One Show.
Oh, there's the Welsh one and there's Matt Smith. Is he called? No, he's called Matt. He's called Matt Smith and there's a Welsh one. Christine Bleakley. No, not Christine Bleakley. The other one that's not Christine Bleakley. Jones. Somebody Jones. Pass.
Which American city boasts sports franchises called the Marlins, the Heats, and the Dolphins?
Miami.
Correct. Which London bridge has Big Ben at one end and St Thomas's Hospital at the other?
Westminster Bridge.
Correct. Which singer's fans self-identify themselves as Swifties?
Taylor Swift.
Correct. In which British city would you find the station Waverley?
Waverley. Edinburgh.
Correct. Who is the current host of the breakfast I've started to say I'll finish. Who is the current host of the breakfast show on BBC Radio 2?
Jeremy Vine.
Chris Evans.
Is he? Okay.
Daniel, you scored 9 on general knowledge with 2 passes. Who is the British film director of Trainspotting, Slumdog Millionaire, and Steve Jobs? It is Danny Boyle.
Danny Boyle.
And, well, you were almost there. Basically, you named both of them, but not together. Name one of the 2 regular presenters of BBC One's The One
Matt
Show.
Baker.
Matt Baker.
And the Welsh one.
Alex Jones.
Yes.
Alex Jones. But very, very good from you there on general knowledge, Daniel Norcross. You scored 9 points. We add that to your 3 points in total. You scored 12 points.
Thank you.
Could we welcome back our next contestant? Pat, on your chosen specialist subject of Surrey County Cricket Club, you scored 3 points. First question for you, though. How has your first year of being the president of Surrey County Cricket Club been? Have you enjoyed it?
It's been very enjoyable. We've had a good year. It's been lovely to see some of the young lads come on. And in spite of all the injuries, to the seamers especially, we won promotion obviously with mostly homegrown players, which is very it's a very nice thing to do.
Now, obviously, you're famous for your cricket, but your singing prowess is, well, I would like to say world-renowned now. You've treated us on many occasions to impromptu renditions of My Way and New York. Away from cricket, I suppose, would the dream have been, if you could have picked any singer to duet with on stage, which singer would that have been?
I think Jane Mansfield wouldn't have been that bad, but I think probably on a more serious note, I think Sinatra would have been wouldn't have been bad either.
It's a lovely thought, Pocock and Sinatra. Now, Pat, You have 2 minutes now on general knowledge.
Right.
So you scored 3 in your chosen
Got to
specialist
come back
subject.
from, yeah.
2 minutes now on general knowledge, starting now. Who is the Booker Prize winning author of the novel Midnight's Children?
Pass.
What is the name of the current Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom?
That is the Lady May.
Philip Hammond.
Philip Hammond.
Who is the missing member of the boy band One Direction? Louis Tomlinson, Liam Payne, Niall Horan.
This is a guess. No, sorry, pass.
Pass. On which British TV show have you seen a judging panel that has featured Sir Tom Jones, Kylie Minogue, and Jessie J?
The X Factor.
The Voice.
The Voice.
What is the largest animal to have ever lived on the Earth?
The dinosaur.
The blue whale. Who is the last man to have been a Republican president of the United States of America?
Obama.
George W. Bush. Who is the British film director of Trainspotting, Slumdog Millionaire, and Steve Jobs?
Pass.
Who is the current England football captain?
Current England football captain is Wayne Rooney.
Correct.
Oh, got one.
Name one of the 2 regular presenters of BBC One's The One Show.
Pass.
Which American city has sports franchises called the Marlins, the Heat, and the Dolphins?
Chicago.
Miami.
Oh.
Which London bridge has Big Ben at one end and St Thomas's Hospital?
Westminster.
Correct. Which European country twice elected the sometimes controversial Syriza party earlier in 2015?
Pass.
Which singer's fans self-identify themselves as Swifties?
Yes, the girl singer. Pass.
In which British... I've started, so I'll finish. In which British city would you find Waverley Station?
Waverley. I know it, but cannot think of it now.
Edinburgh.
Eddie.
Pat, at the end
I did
of
that.
your general knowledge round, you scored 2 points with 6 passes. The first of those, who is the Booker Prize winning author of the novel Midnight's Children? Salman Rushdie. Who is the missing member of the boy band One Direction? Louis Tomlinson, Liam Payne, Niall Horan. It's Harry Styles. Who is the British film director of Trainspotting, Slumdog Millionaire, and Steve Jobs? That's Danny Boyle. Name one of the 2 regular presenters of BBC One's The One Show. It's either Matt Baker or Alex James. Which European country twice elected the sometimes controversial Syriza party earlier in 2015? That was Greece. And which singer's fans self-identify themselves as Swifties? Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
So, if we combine your specialist subject score and your general knowledge score, Pat Pocock, you've scored 5 points.
Reign of Britain competition, here I come.
So, general knowledge, could we have our next contestant, please? Johnny Barran, welcome back. You scored 4 points on your chosen specialist subject of Surrey County Cricket Club. When did you first sort of become interested in Surrey County Cricket Club?
It's a very good question, Churchy. I think from a professional point of view, I started working alongside your good self in 2008. I think I came to my first game here in 1985. And I have been interested, yes, through the ages.
How would you describe yourself?
As a complete chancer, if I'm honest, I think it's probably the best way to describe it.
And how long does it take you to get your hair ready in the morning?
It's a good question. I guess a mean average about 6 minutes.
And your favourite moment in a commentary box?
The favourite moment in a commentary box will... that is a very difficult one. I think it would be Surrey's win in the one-day final in 2011, I think. That's not actually a question, is it?
There are no points in this question.
I was there. I think that's probably the highlight.
That was correct.
Alongside, what else? There are others. I think that's up there, certainly.
It was 2011.
It was 11.
Correct. That certainly wasn't in your first chosen specialist subject. So you scored a 4 on your chosen specialist subject. We now have general knowledge. So, Johnny Barran, 2 minutes on general knowledge, starting now. Who is the Booker Prize-winning author of the novel Midnight Children?
Pass.
What is the name of the current Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom?
Oh, Lord. It's not Theresa May. She's Home Office, isn't she? Pass.
Who is the missing member of the boy band One Direction? Louis Tomlinson,
Zayn.
Liam Payne, Niall Horan,
Zayn.
Harry Styles.
Oh.
On which British TV show have you seen a judging panel that has featured Sir Tom Jones, Kylie Minogue and
The Voice.
Jessie J? Correct. What is the largest animal to have ever lived on the Earth?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
The blue whale. Who is the last man to have been a Republican president of the United States of America?
George Bush.
Correct. Who is the British film director of Trainspotting, Slumdog Millionaire and Steve Jobs?
Boyle.
Correct. Who is the current England football captain?
Wayne Rooney.
Correct. Name one of the 2 regular presenters of BBC One's The One Show.
Oh, Lord. Matt. Oh. Pass.
Which American city hosts sports franchises called the Marlins, the Heat and the Dolphins?
Dallas?
Miami. Which London bridge has Big Ben at one end and St Thomas's Hospital at the other?
Southwark?
Westminster. Which singer's fans self-identify themselves as Swifties?
Taylor Swift.
Correct. In which British city? I've started, so I'll finish. In which British city would you find Waverley Station?
Edinburgh?
Correct. Johnny Barran, at the end of that round, you scored 6 points with 3 passes. Who is the Booker Prize-winning author of the novel Midnight Children? It's Salman Rushdie. What is the name of the current Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom? It's Philip Hammond. And your final pass, name one of the 2 regular presenters of BBC One's The One Show, Matt Baker or Alex Jones. So 6 points in your general knowledge round. We add that to your 4 points that you scored in your chosen specialist subject. Johnny Barran, you scored 10 points.
Thank you.
Could we have our next contestant, please? Well, Henry, you scored an impressive 7 points in your chosen specialist subject round of Surrey County Cricket Club. Obvious first question for you really is, when did you first fall in love with cricket?
That's a great question. I think probably when I was about 6 years old, just playing in the garden. I think that's what inspired my love of cricket. I think just bat and ball and playing the game.
And who were your cricketing heroes aged 6 then?
My cricketing heroes, when I was 6 years old, probably would have been Nasser Hussain, I thought.
And we're obviously all huge fans of your cricketing writing, but I think I'd be right in saying that one of your greatest moments was at the start of the year when you were impersonating Mike Gatting. Would you agree with me that was right up there in your career?
Well, I mean, look, Church, at the end of the day, it's hard to pick one moment, but that's got to be up there, certainly. To impersonate a great man like Gat is an honour.
So, Henry, you scored an impressive 7 points on your chosen specialist subjects at Surrey County Cricket Club. You have 2 minutes on general knowledge, starting now. Who is the Booker Prize-winning author of the novel Midnight's Children?
Pass.
What is the name of the current Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom?
Philip Hammond.
Correct. Who is the missing member of the boy band One Direction? Louis Tomlinson, Liam Payne, Niall Horan.
Harry Styles.
Correct. On which British TV show have you seen a judging panel that has featured Sir Tom Jones, Kylie
The
Minogue?
Voice.
Correct. What is the largest animal to have ever lived on the earth?
Blue whale.
Correct. Who is the last man to have been a Republican president of the United States of America?
George W. Bush.
Correct. Who is the British film director of Train Spotting,
Danny
Slumdog?
Boyle.
Correct. Who is the current England football captain?
Wayne.
Correct. Name one of the two regular presenters of BBC One's The One Show.
Matt Baker.
Correct. Which American city boasts sports franchises called the Marlins, the Heat, and the Dolphins?
Miami.
Correct. Which London bridge has Big Ben at one end and St Thomas's Hospital at the other?
Westminster.
Correct. Which singer's fans self-identify themselves as Swifties?
Taylor Swift.
Correct. In which British city would you find Waverley Station?
Edinburgh.
Correct. Who is the current host of The Breakfast Show on BBC Radio 2?
Chris Evans.
Correct. From which country does world tennis number one Novak Djokovic
Serbia.
hail? Correct. What was the name? I've started, so I'll finish. What was the name of the lion shot in Zimbabwe this year by American hunter Walter Palmer?
Pass.
Henry, you scored a very impressive 14 points on general knowledge. You had 2 passes. Who is the Booker Prize-winning author of the novel Midnight's Children? It's Salman Rushdie. And what was the name of the lion shot in Zimbabwe this year by American hunter Walter Palmer? It was Cecil. Henry Cowen, you scored 14 points on general knowledge. We add that to the 7 points that you scored in your chosen specialist subject round of Surrey County Cricket Club. Henry Cowen, you've scored 21 points. So all 5 contestants have now answered their 2 minutes on general knowledge. So join us on New Year's Day, where we will reveal the winner of SurreyMind 2015. Welcome to our final edition of SurreyMind, and can we firstly say a very happy new year to everybody. Today is the big day though. Today is the day where we will reveal who the winner of SurreyMind 2015 is. In final place, with a grand total of 5 points, it was Pat Pocock. In 4th place, with a grand total of 10 points, it was Johnny Barran. In 3rd place, with a grand total of 12 points, Daniel Norcross. In 2nd place, with a grand total of 13 points, it was Gareth Batty. But the winner, and SurreyMind 2015, with an incredible total of 21 points, it's Henry Cowen.